this is part 10 of Angular 14 series, and in this session we'll discuss about the resolve property of routing. So in my previous session, we already created a authorized directive to make authorization in Angular. Okay, but there is a problem. Okay, so before deep dive into this session, we have to understand the problem of my previous session. So this session actually basically a continuation of part 9. So if you are new in this series, please watch that previous session before understanding this session. Now let's open the browser. Here I can see no menu is there, okay, for the supervisor, as because the directive logic is executing before load the user details. That means application not able to get the logged in user role, and that is what actually it is removing all the options wherever we are placing that directive, right? So how do we achieve that? So in this scenario also, application not assuring us, or we are not assuring that our custom authorization code to be executed always after user details load, right? Here we added one pipe with delay 2 seconds to test that scenario. Maybe sometimes this to load the user basic details, it can take sometimes, right? So it depends on the server traffic and other stuffs. So that is why intentionally I actually I'm doing or holding response for 2 seconds. Okay, so to achieve that, what we need to do, we need to load the user details before rendering to the dashboard layout component, so that application will have, or each component will have the user details for sure. Okay, so we need to create one resolver service inside this core folder. So inside the services, I will create one data resolver dot service, and here I will write export class data resolver service. This service should implement resolve interface, which is from Angular routing. So this if you mouse over on this interface, you can have you can see like one type actually it is asking. So we have the type that is called user, and then we do have one constructor, and then then you need to implement that resolve property. And if we see here, this resolve method actually is returning, I mean we can return from this method whether iUser or observable of iUser or promise of iUser. So whatever you want, you can return. So in our example, private auth context, that auth service is having that method to load the user. So that is what actually I'm implementing, injecting this, and here return auth context dot load user. Okay, now let's save this change and go to that routing module. Now if I see create data resolver service inside core folder, that is created. Now third one is called created resolver inside the dashboard routing config with resolve properties. Okay, now go to that dashboard component. Here we have resolve property, and this resolve property will accept an object, and maybe this object will have one property called user, and here user data resolver service. And if I go to this service, here I have to decorate, that is called injectable, so that it will be injectable to everywhere. And here I will use provided in with root. Now I can save this change, and if I go to the browser now, the application is actually waiting for the response, right? Now I can have this menu. See our, now you can see the our custom directive logic is working properly. Okay, now if I check with admin credential here, see now it is working as expected, right? So this way we can overcome part 9 problem. Okay, now open the console. Now I can see, if I do refresh, now I can see two actually HTTP call is going on. Okay, that is not correct. So how that is going on, let me investigate that. Dashboard, one call definitely is happening before rendering the dashboard component with the help of that resolver property, and one more call is happening here. See, this load user actually, it's an observable, and we are actually subscribing inside this template with the help of that async pipe. So that is what actually it is calling to one more time. So we have to remove that part, and what we need to do, we need to make it public, and I will remove this so that it will be available to the HTML. And here instead of this I can use this one, and instead of role we have that role property only within that user object. And here as well I can use profile. Okay, let me go inside that auth service, and here I can see the profile pic path property is there. Okay, and any other change required? No, I guess. Let's save the change, go to the browser. Now see, one call is there only, right? Now again if I do refresh, now it is taking some time to load. Now it's got loaded, and all the data and user information is coming. Now I guess you understood. If you have anything on this session, I mean comments and all, please leave a comment in the comment box so that I can help you properly. And in my next session I will implement the login logout functionality. So for that, stay tuned and be safe. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.